Picture the scene. It's 1999. Oasis are battling the Spice Girls for #1. Tony Blair's Prime Minister, and you could buy a Series 1 RS Turbo for £3 grand. But also, in 1999, I was still at school, and I took this very magazine in with me, and it got me a detention. I'll let you figure out why. But why am I talking about it? Well, check the cover car out. It's been reborn. So, here today with Angus, and can you just talk about the story about it? Because obviously you had it then and you built it then and it went on the cover of the magazine.
Yeah, that's right.
And then how long after that did you sell it?
I sold it probably a couple of years after that for nothing. Spent a load of money on it back then, sold it for nothing. You know, it was all out back then.
And then when did you see it again? And
I saw it again about 5 years ago, having never seen it since. And it popped up on a random Facebook group. I don't even think I follow it. It was just something that was suggested in your feed.
Yeah.
And I thought, hang on a minute, that is my old car. Still had all the original sort of modifications on it still, but it was absolutely rotten, like rotten. There was no floor, just holes everywhere. And it was covered in like moss and where it just sat for years and years and years. And I stupidly messaged the person and said, I'll take it off them. Bought it for about 300 quid.
Right.
Trailered it back down, and when I saw it, I did honestly think, I was like, this is just not worth saving. But I thought, you know what, we'll try.
Okay, if we can walk around the car,
Yeah.
and then if we talk about like how it was then and how it is now, and the differences, because I know there's still some bits that you've kept original, but then there's other bits that you've brought up to 21st century modifying.
Yeah, obviously a 1.8 RS1800 back in the day. It's not that now. Now under the bonnet is a 2.1 Z-Tech turbo, which is an ex-Power Engineering race engine, which came out of one of their cars. Was running 550 something brake in their car. It's not in that now. It's about 300 now at 1.1 bar.
Okay, so back in the day, so it was still the stock 1800
it was,
engine.
Yeah.
And on the front of it, we just mentioned it a second ago, but it had a bad boy bonnet, didn't it?
It did,
Very much of the time.
Yeah. That's thankfully long gone now.
Oh, I thought I would have kept that. Anything else different on the front?
So front, so obviously the bumpers are pretty much standard, just cut back to house all the intercooler and the fans and everything like that.
Yeah.
But kept pretty standard really up the front.
Okay.
Considering most panels have had something done.
And then these wheels,
so they're
different from when it first featured.
Yeah, they are original TSW Evos, which are really hard to find out.
Evo Rs, are they?
No, just Evos, but they took me a good 18 months to find a set of 17s in Ford fitment. I didn't want to mess about, re-drilling and all that kind of stuff. So it's got ST170 brakes up the front, so larger.
So that's different to the original as well.
Different to the original.
Yeah.
On the wings, we've got rid of the side repeaters. Again, different from back then.
Mirrors?
Mirrors are Mark III Golf. Now, I never know how to say this. I think they're called Project Zwo.
Right.
So they're which everyone's gone crazy at me for cutting them up because they're a rare item. So, but whatever, cut them up, had them fitted onto the original bases.
A bit like the old DTM Cup mirrors.
Yeah, a little bit, which it did have originally.
Oh,
so it had DTM mirrors on there originally. So, pretty similar. And we've got a Mark III Golf Bonrath single wiper conversion.
That's something you don't see very often now, is the old single wiper conversion.
Single wiper conversion, yeah.
Bring back bad boy bonnets and single wipers.
Yeah. And then moving down the car, de-locked.
Yeah. Was that then? Was that again?
No, that's new as well. Got rid of the aerial as well on the top. That's new. And then on the back, we've got ST170 discs as well. So rear disc conversion, because it would have had drums on the back, which again is new, on an RS2000 beam.
Filler cap?
Filler cap standard. That's all the same. I think I actually had an aluminium one on there back in the day. The old, that was a 90s mod.
And then moving around the rear.
So on the back, so I had clear rear lights, which we did, had them painted to match with time with all the green.
And then it's obviously de-wipered as well.
De-wipered, de-locked.
Completely smoothed.
And then we've got rid of the light, the number plate light from there. And then this is backlit, so at night. And got rid of the tow eye.
Oh yeah, and then the huge exhaust.
Custom exhaust, yeah, custom stainless exhaust, turbo back. So yeah, wakes up the neighbours. So interior is all standard, pretty much. Standard RS1800 interior. Steering wheel, obviously different, but
Mono 280.
Mono 280, yeah.
Today's your first day out in it, isn't it?
First drive I've ever driven in it since being done. First show. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It's all obviously it's all on custom air ride suspension.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because back in the day, was it on something like Spax?
It was on Spax. Yeah, it was like the first set of coilovers. Like,
oh, was it?
Yeah. It was
what,
like,
Spax coilovers?
Yeah, it was like they were really new back then.
Yeah.
The fact that something was height adjustable as well was, yeah. But even then, we didn't stop there. Back then, I think I cut the coils in half on that as well to get it down. It was on 17s back then as well, but static and just on the floor. So yeah, it was horrible.
So the air ride system, that must be custom?
Custom, yeah, all custom. There's no off-the-shelf kit for it.
So what management are you running?
So I'm running airlift V2 management.
Yeah, and then the bags are?
The bags, the airlift struts.
Right.
Custom airlift struts, which are, so they, you can buy them so that you can adapt them and whatever. And I had some guy make them all up for me and fit it, and we had to raise the turrets in the front in order to get it to sit a little bit lower on the front.
So when you bought it 5 years ago,
yeah,
rebought it, how much time have you spent on it since then? Because you're saying you're sort of like on and off, wasn't it? But
so yeah, it's. I mean, it has sat in lots of people's workshops for a long time, just getting stuff done, which is partly my fault because I haven't been chasing it. But yeah, I think all in all, there's a fair few hours in it. I mean, I wouldn't like to say how much, but paint alone, because it's painted in Audi Abyss white.
Okay.
So it's a bit brighter than the original diamond white that it would have been.
You nearly didn't save it, did you?
No,
it was bad.
It was absolute.
So there's
terrible.
Tons and tons of welding in there.
Tons and tons of welding. So yeah, pretty much we bought a low mileage Mark III that just literally used it just to cut and loads of bits out and yeah, new floors and everything. So yeah.
How old were you back in 1999 then?
I would have been 19, 20 back then.
Okay.
Yeah, so
do you feel like you're back in your teens when you're behind the wheel? Is that why you bought it?
Do you know what? I mean, I guess so. I bought it back just stupidly because of nostalgia. Yeah. Especially when you get to a certain age, nostalgia starts to creep in with lots of things. So, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. I'd never sell it now. Right. So, just keep it as a.
Or sell it in a couple of years and then buy it back in 20.
Yeah, and do it all over again.
Do it all again.
Sink more money into it. But yeah.
I guess you're going to head off down to Southend Seafront now?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Old Brighton and all that. Yeah.
Well, it's been a nice trip down memory lane. As I say, when I first saw this car, I was a reader and I wasn't even working for Fast Car. And I joined Fast Car in 2002, so that's how far back this goes. And it's great that you've brought it back up to its former glory and probably even better.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Thanks very much.
No problem.
No, thanks.
Luckily, Joe wasn't rolling when this happened. But remember, if you enjoyed this video, to like, subscribe and share. And get yourself a decent hammock.